This is a tutorial on how to plot from AutoCAD. Okay, we're going to use exercise 9A to see how to plot from our model space that we're in. So at the end of exercise 9A, there's a couple of pages that guide you through the plotting command, so I'll go through those with you. So our plot command is up here. So it prints a drawing to a plotter, printer, or file. And the big printer out in the hallway at school, that one's called a plotter. So we're going to hit plot. Okay. So our plot dialog box has come up. If yours doesn't look quite like this, it might look more like this. Make sure you click this little arrow at the bottom because you want to be able to see drawing orientation. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to select our plotter. So if you were at school, you would see a list of printers here. The one that you're going to use would end in DJ520. If you were printing at home, you just pick your own printer. So for now, I'm just going to select my printer. The next thing that we want to do is select our paper size. So we're just going to use letter. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to plot area. So what to plot? Do we want to plot extents, limits, or window? Extents will plot what's on your screen. Limits will plot whatever's in your drawing limits. The one I find the best to use is window. So I'm going to select window. And then it's going to say, okay, what is it that you want to plot? Select your window. So I'm going to click the outer corner of my border and the bottom corner. Okay, the next thing that we want to do, we want to make sure for plot offset, we have center the plot checked off. Now, the book says to go in and change this to 1:1. I find on our printers it works best if you just say fit to paper. But if you want to make sure that everything's printed out at its perfect size, so if you drew something 3.25 inches long and you wanted to make sure that it printed at 3.25 inches long, you would go in here and select 1:1. So I'll leave it selected as 1:1 the way they have it in the book. And number 10, we want to go into our pen styles. So if you select, there's a whole bunch of different ones here. If you select acad.ctb, it's going to print in color. If you select monochrome, it's going to print in black. So we're just going to select monochrome for these. And then it says, do you want to assign this? And say yes. Now, really important when you're printing, very important step, always hit preview before you print, because you're going to see exactly what you will print out. So if I print this, this is what I'm going to get. That's exactly what I'll get. So I'm going to close my print preview. One other one that they didn't point out that you want to make sure that your paper is set to landscape. Okay, so our drawing's set up the way that we want it. Now we're going to save this page setup so that we don't have to do this every time. So up at the top under page setup, I'm going to say add, and I'm going to call it class model A. So that has nothing to do with our name of our file or our exercise. It's our plot style that we're saving. Okay, so from there, I'm going to say apply to layout. It's the button at the bottom. And then we're going to say, you could say okay if you did want to print it right now. You can hit cancel. If you don't want to print the drawing right now, your page setup will still be saved. So I'm just going to hit cancel. You guys can hit print if you want. And then it says save the entire drawing again as your border A. So I'm going to zoom in, recenter my drawing, save as. I'm going to make sure I'm set to border A. See, I was on 9B. So I'm going to resave it as border A. And I'm going to take this stuff out. I'm going to change these. Okay. So now, every time I open border A and save, this is what I'm going to see. So I went into my plots again. I'll have class model A there with all my settings. Okay, so that's the end of basic how to plot. That's the end of our how to plot from AutoCAD tutorial.